Welcome. I'm Meredith, and this is the Oasis Spiritual Empowerment Tarot. And it's all about tarot, oracle, and empowering you. And today, I have a side-by-side walkthrough of two really interesting Italian decks. We have the Tarocchi di Connessione, and then Diramazioni. So the creator, and I'll get you the information, but the creator of this deck partnered with another person to create this one, and I'll get you that information once I open them up. Alright, so this one is by Diramazioni, which is... I'm so sorry. Let's see if it'll focus closer. Maybe not. Vocisconnesse and try far. I'm so sorry. Okay. I'm losing all my stuff. Okay. So here's the first deck. Now, both of these decks came with sharp edges. So they both originally had, really sharp corners. So I did trim the corners. I rounded the corners. I still have to edge this one, so it's a little banged up looking, but once I edge it in black, it'll be fine, like this one. Right? So I edged this. This one just hasn't gotten there yet, but it will. So, and this one... Okay, so this one is just by Vocisconnesse, whereas this one is by that person, and also Trifar. Yeah, but you can, I'll put links to the decks. When I originally discovered the decks, I actually discovered this one first, and this is the one that I wanted to buy. It wasn't available, but I reached out to the creator asking if it was going to come back out, and she said it would, but in the meantime she had this deck, so I purchased this one right away. So I've had this one longer. But you can, like I said, I'll post links, but if you're interested in the decks, if they're not showing as available, she's very responsive. You can reach out and ask. But so now, without further ado, let's just get started. So here, again, this one is Diramazioni. So here we have our Fool, and here it's been renamed, so it's Existence. And then we go into the Magician on this side, but this one we have Creativity. And then the High Priestess. And here we have Sage Woman. And then the Empress. And Regenerating. And the Emperor. I love this card. And Cultivating. Now we have the Hierophant. Love that too. With Sage Man. And they are numbered. So, you know, even though they've been renamed, you can easily figure out what they're meant to be. Now we have the Lovers and Relationship. I really like that it's two people in one kind of thing. Now we have the Chariot with Direction. And Justice with Responsibility. I love this card. And the Hermit with Introspection. So you could tell there's a really very different feel between the decks. They're similar in some ways, but I just feel like the energy is so different. So we have the Wheel and Cycles. And for both cards, it's Strength. I definitely prefer this one. It's a very evocative card to me. And I don't like the reaching in the mouth or opening, closing the mouth for Strength. It just doesn't appeal to me. Personally, that's just my thing. So now we have Hanged and Suspension. And Death and Transformation. So I really like this. So I like this too, but I really like this one. The Transformation. And Temperance and Stream, which I felt was an interesting name. And then we have the Devil and Limits, which I think is a great open-ended name, you know? And the Tower and Change. And then we have Stars and Stars. So it is plural. And these are both Moon. Oh, and I should say, I don't think I said, this is for Chopstick Tarot. They requested this side-by-side walkthrough. So this is the Sun for both. I love the umbrella over the sun. But this one feels more like that sun energy to me. Again, obviously everything I say is just to me. So now we have Judgment and Conscience, which I really like that. And you know, you could take these words and use them to expand maybe in your readings. You can ignore them too. I ignore tons of words on cards. So here we have the World, right? This one is the Cosmic Tree. I love this card. I really like this too, but I love this one. Alright, so now getting into the minors. So just kind of move these a little bit. So for this deck, the Tarocchi di Connessione, maybe? Oni? We have the symbols for the elements on all of the cards. Now, I should say maybe that one of the things that really appealed to me about this deck is that it's just so well done in terms of really being able to feel the elemental energies with the way the cards are done. You know, you can just feel the earth and the air and the fire and the water. I think the same is true with this deck too, though. So just to kind of give you an idea of how, of just that, you know, general energy for the elements. I can get that ace. And it carries through with all of the cards, not just with the aces, but just to give you like that kind of comparative feel. You know, I really like that you can, if you just take a glance and don't even notice what's depicted in the card, you can still feel that elemental energy. So now, I really like that. I don't know how well you can see. You can see the pentalpha on the hand. I just like that. I love this. And this may seem kind of pippish, but by the same token, to me it still speaks of that creation and of that work being done with the branches coming through. So, and obviously this deck is a bit more scenic, but I don't know, I still get a lot from this one. I really like the depiction. In some ways, I feel like this deck, the message can be a little more clear, maybe because it's a bit more simple. Whereas this one, it's not that it's harder, and it's not even that I necessarily need more time with it, but it kind of asks more time of me, if that makes sense. And that's not a bad thing by any means. It's just what I noticed personally. So we have the page, and here it's the youth. And I should say, for this one, it's amulets as opposed to coins or whatever. Here, it's pentacles. So, and in this deck, it's the horse of amulets. Here we have the knight of pentacles. Now we have the lord of amulets. Here we have the queen of pentacles. Now I'll tell you, I'm not sure if one or the other is meant to come first here. Let's take a quick look, because I possibly didn't order it. The reason I say that is because in this deck, we have the Lady of Amulets coming last. Right? She's number 14. And here we have the Lord as 13. So, I just want to see, because it's possible. Yeah, no, in this one, according to the, I mean, it's a fold out. So the king does come last. So, now, I mean, the numbers are small. They're not, you know, in your face. You could absolutely read this however you choose, you know, for whatever that's worth. But for this deck, we do have the king last, and here we have the lady last. Now we have, in this deck, we have sickles. In this deck, we have swords. I love this. Yeah, I love it. I love this too. But, yeah. This one I prefer because it's very different, and you still have that, right? You know where the heart is. And it's interesting that the swords, though, are pointing up here where the bird is. I really like that. I love this card. Now again, this one is, you know, a bit more of a Pip style, but to me it still evokes that same feeling. I think it's kind of like Pip plus. It's not really, I mean, I don't know. I hesitate to really call it a Pip deck because I do feel like there's much more, but it's not like the imagery that you might expect if you're, you know, used to like Rider-Waite-Smith. I don't know. I mean, I guess it is a Pip. I don't think of it that way though. So, alright. So again, we have the youth here and the page here. And here we have the Pegasus. And here we have the Knight. We have the Lord and we have the Queen. And the Lady and the King. Love this. I'm gonna move these just because my drink is there and it's cold and it's got a little bit of moisture going, so I don't want to get the cards wet. Okay, so now here we have twigs, and here we have wands. And, the interesting thing to me is, this one is definitely very fiery, of course. This one, in some ways, it's definitely more earthy, but it's got that creation going on, right? It's got those leaves, and it's just another aspect of wands. You know what I mean? So I love this. Like that too, though. But I guess what I'm trying to say is even though this one has the fire, this one doesn't, they both still evoke to me that wand energy, right? They just do it in different ways. So now this one, watch as this one progresses, because I really like the way they did this. So this is, again, more your classic Rider-Waite-Smith type. Now here in the 7, so we went from that to that, right? Here's our, pretty standard 7. Now in the 8, it's transforming. Right? We have that wheel. And then here, RWS style. Now, in the 9s, we have that unicorn. Right? And here. And then in the 10. And I think it was very smart the way they did this. I really like it. So now we have the page and the youth. And here we have the griffin of twigs. And here we have the knight. So in this deck, the knights are renamed really based on that element. Which I quite like. So here we have the queen, and here we have the lord. And the king and the lady. Now, we have cups here. Here we have amphorae. Both very, very watery. Now we have the page and the youth. here we have the Knight, and here we have the Hippocamp. And the Queen and the Lord. And the King and the Lady. So, I do want to just give you maybe just a little bit to kind of see how the cards look. You know, I like to see cards in spreads to get a better feel for how they interact with each other. So maybe just kind of show maybe like 3 or 4 cards of each and how they, you know, just kind of maybe how they feel together, just to help give an idea. And of course I did not do a great job shuffling because I'm just trying to just do a quickie. But for me, I really like to see how the cards interact. It just helps give me a feel for the deck. So, alright, so this one is the Tarocchi di Connessione. Right, this line right here. And then, oh, it's gonna. I'm just trying to pull some different cards just to, again, give you an idea of how it might read for you or feel, you know, with those cards together. And so this bottom row is the Diramazioni Tarot. So, what do you think? Are either of these or both of these decks that appeal to you? Let me know in the comments. I personally really like both of them, and I tend to use this deck more, but again, I really think it's just because I got it first, so I spent more time with it. So by the time I received this one, I was really well acquainted with this one. But that said, I mean, look at this. This is just wonderful. I love this card so much. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, and you know, if either of these decks appeal to you or if they don't. I value your thoughts, and I value you, because you deserve the best, only the best, all the best, and that is my wish for you. So until next time, be wonderful to yourself.